Yo, 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 new day, new day. It has been not 1 day, not 2 days, not it has been almost a week since I've done one of these. The reason being, work has been hitting hard recently. Mainly just because people just got paid and are apparently out spending their hard-earned cash on grub. So that I may actually, actually have to do something at work. That sucks. But, it is what it is. I don't know. I've just been fucking wasted each time. Like, I don't know. Maybe those 10-hour shifts also, they're not really it. I don't know. I feel like skipping one more today, but I'm not gonna let that fool me. If anything, I can just like pretend to die at like Marmu or something, and then I get off the hook, somewhat free of charge. Marmu is a big enough wall. He has been a big enough wall. He's a big enough like Joker in terms of you don't really know whether you do him hitless or you lose like 15 hearts to him. I don't know, man. He's a goofer. But anyway, the thing I've been wanting to talk about for a long time is the ending of Ori and the Will of the Wisps, because it just continued getting better and better and fucking better. I don't know, you just feel so fucking free while playing that game. It's insane. I love it so much, and I hate it for not having more content than it does. I was actually really looking forward to, okay, full spoilers for the ending here, for like the entire game. I was really looking forward to the post game, where I could just like move around, fuck around, just like complete all the village quests and shit. But I cannot do that now that I am dead. Like, it's one of those games where the ending is that you die. Which is, thematically, yeah, I get it. But I'd still like to know so much more. For example, about, like, my people that were supposed to be, like, the protectors of the forest and whatnot. I don't know, I have a feeling that I found out that the Will of the Forest is a prequel, because, it's basically, this is a sequel to the other game where you actually go meet your family and stuff. That's in the first game, Will of the Forest, and then Will of the Wisp is this one, which is way more popular and way better, apparently. I thought about buying Will of the Forest afterwards, but I don't know, I'm kind of deterred because everybody is dogging on it because it has such ass combat mechanics and just not really enough movement mechanics. I don't know, it's weird. One of the best things about Will of the Wisp is definitely the movement, like by far the movement. Because you just, it feels like you start off, like, it doesn't actually feel like you get that much. It feels like you just get better, and not that you just get better abilities and items. But it feels like you actually get better, even though I know that that's not what's happening, but it just feels like you're becoming more and more one with the forest, which is exactly what happens at the end. You essentially offer yourself to become the new forest, and you find out that the narrator, the entire time, the little narrator guy who's just been there at like totally random points, that is the forest talking to you, and the forest is currently, I don't know if I should say dying, but the forest is not doing all too well. And in order to fix that, you offer yourself to, whoever this guy is, and then there's a little post-ending scene with just, your family growing old and dying and like sort of becoming also, I don't know, I would have just liked to explore this version of the woods. Maybe there's a sequel to this one, like Ori 3, I don't know what the fucking title is gonna be. But I mean, I can hope that there's gonna be a sequel to this one where I just get to explore the forest that I created as the main character, right? But I would also have liked to see that as, you know, the protector of the forest. Just like wandering around like, yeah, I am the main character here. And just actually, you know, complete all the side quests. But I guess that's also the point of it, is that, okay, you know, you can't really make everybody happy, that's just how it is. I don't know, it's also, I feel like there is more content if I actually go back and look for it. But I don't know if it's really worth it. Like, sure, there are the, you know, the time trials. I'm pretty sure there's also some combat trials that I haven't completed yet. But it's not really anything worth going around looking for. It's just like the experience of, I don't know. It feels like one of those experiences that you can't really have twice, even though it's like, you know, sure, I can just play the game again. But it's just, it's not really about the story, it's just the feeling of, you know, the progress feeling. It's really weird explaining it. But the feeling of progress is so great in this game, and so seamless, and just, it flows so great. And you just, again, you feel like you start off as a stranger to the forest, and then you become more and more part of the forest. And even though you are, you know, in the beginning, you just feel like kind of Rain World-esque. You feel like you're just a small part of a larger ecosystem. Way more in Rain World than in here, but it's still, the feeling is there, right? You're just a small part of a larger ecosystem, and you know, as you get better and get more abilities and become more, you know, actually delve into your role as the protector of the forest, you end up actually getting to the point where you're just roaming around. Like, nobody really can touch you other than, you know, the actual big hitters, the bosses, the you know, there's the spider boss that I'm pretty sure I talked about, because I beat him, like, that was the first guy I beat. Then you have the toad frog guy, who was controlled by the guy you meet in the library. Not the library, I'm pretty sure there was a library, but like the clockwork, the cog, the machine thingy. The waterway, I can't remember the name. There was a thingamajig that chased you, and, you know, chase sequence, of course there's a chase sequence. But then you, way later, when you unlock another area, you actually get to, you know, fight him. And by fight him, I mean you get to fight the toad guy, basically the main good guy. Your main ally, your mentor type guy, you get to fight him controlled by this evil thingamajig. I don't know, I call him thingamajig, he's just a tentacled guy. I have no better description of him. But you get to fight him, and it's really sad how you know, you actually end up killing your toad fella friend. But, you know, it's all in the name of the greater good, because otherwise you wouldn't have, you know, you would just have let him succumb to this force of evil. And it's also pretty satisfying. By the end of the fight, he gets, you know, the toad guy gets to finish off the guy, the thingamajig guy controlling him. That's a pretty sick scene, and he also gets a little mini memorial at, you know, the location where you first meet him. Just like his little local pond. He gets a little memorial, and again, those are the type of things that I would have liked to, you know, just be able to make progress on. Just like make the memorial bigger and bigger, and just, you know, do something around. I don't know. I think I would have just liked some more creativity, and freedom, which sounds very fucking bizarre to say when I'm describing the game that I am. It's giving me a lot of freedom and a lot of just, I don't know. It's giving me a lot of freedom of movement is what I'm getting at. I don't know. It could be also just I need to prioritize better because I just kind of skipped through a bunch of stuff around the city because I just also the quest line of the guy who just lost his family, or you know, quote unquote lost. I don't know. That's why I kind of was expecting a post game, is because this guy, he went to his village and you know, obviously because the forest is still fucked, his family is still turned to stone. Val!
Prank! Good pranked! Prank!
Wer pranken, bro?
At jeg forstyrrer dit Hollow Knight run.
Fucking dårlig prank. Slet den streg igen.
Jeg har ikke sat nogen streg.
Godt. Lad være med at sætte en streg.
Prank!
What the freak? Man. Jeg græder nu.
Fuck dig.
Fuck dig. So you actually don't really get to see this guy's family ever again. He's just kinda, you know, it's just left up to the fates. Like, it's implied, sure, that his family is doing okay now, but you don't actually get to see it. It might be some post-credit things that I just skipped over because of, you know, post-credits. But I would have just liked to see, you know, at least that. But there wasn't anything of the sort. It was just, you know, you beat the big bad final boss guy, who is actually, I don't know, I really like the final boss battle, especially because I figured out a little too late. You know, I figured out yet another puzzle made for 5-year-olds, that you could actually. He just, you know, it's a flying bird. It's a bird. He can fly. And he just like slowly as he attacks you, because you have finally pissed him off. Also, like the built-up aura of this guy is phenomenal, because every time you see him, he is she he's just on your ass immediately. If you do anything like out of line, you have to enter a chase sequence instead of actually fighting him. And that is such a good build-up to this point where you know, you try to fight back, but you know, in the end you try to run anyway, and then you have to, you know, he catches up to you because there's no other place to run. And you just gotta realize that, oh yeah, this is, you know, this is my fate now. I gotta, it's do or die here, right? So, you know, you finally get to the summit of this thingamajig peak, Hollow Peak. I don't know, some sort of peak. There were a bunch of puzzles to like untangle some sort of thing. I don't know, a bunch of puzzles for 5-year-olds. Again, I managed to solve one of them way too late. I'm ashamed to say that is the second time I have used a Google search to progress the game. I don't know. It was just a wall that I was supposed to break, and then there was another portal. You get an ability where you can like shoot yourself through portals. So there was like 3 portals in a row that you had to throw some, not some rocks, some projectiles through to break yet another wall. That behind that was the thing you needed to break for the overtangled thing to fall apart. So that's a whole thing. But you know, you get to this point, and you get to a point where there's not really, in the boss fight, there's not really any land left. There's not really any ground to actually fight on. And you just, you know, at first I just tried to raw dog it, just like, okay, well, I'm at this stage now. I guess I just need to kill him faster in order to actually win. But no, I realized, you know, a little too late that I could just shoot myself up, you know, by the projectiles. I have triple jump, I have the dash, I have the, you know, slingshot ability, slinging myself at projectiles. Also the things he, you know, he uses bullet seed on you, essentially. And you can just, like, dodge them all by just slingshotting yourself. I don't know, it's just, also the battle mechanics, just like the battle graphics, I guess, is really, it's just clean, it's smooth, it just feels so satisfying to just finally be able to stand against this guy who has been taunting you throughout the entire game and feel like you're actually doing progress and winning. I don't know, it was a long fight, but it was a good fight. There were, I don't know how I feel about there being, like, checkpoints throughout the fight. You know, when you get to a certain stage, you know, I don't know, I might just be conditioned because I'm coming straight off of Elden Ring DLC, coming straight off of the Radahn fight. I might just be biased, and think that, yeah, difficulty is good, it's the only thing that makes a boss great, but no. Another thing that I haven't really mentioned at all is the music in this, like, in the entire game. You know, a lot of the vibe just comes from the cinematic fucking music. And, you know, combined with all the locations and, like, the color, you know, contrast of the colors and just the vibe of the overall place, it is immaculate. That's a word, yeah. It's fucking great. It's, I don't know how to describe this. I'm not doing it justice right now. But it's great. If anything, just play the game for the vibes alone. And that is just multiplied tenfold when you get the ability to just, like, dash around however you please. You get so much freedom in where you want to go, and there's just, you know, nobody's really stopping you other than your own abilities, and that just feels great. Which brings me back to, you know, the non-existent post-game. I saw that there was an ability you could buy in the city that was like, oh, you can go and equip this, and you can actually see, like, hidden walls, which means that there are, you know, at least several hidden walls. I just realized there is a place where I think Toko is his name, the bird guy. He's standing there at the bottom left corner of the map and just, like, kind of staring and saying, "Hey, there's an area here. Wonder how I get down there." And I haven't figured out how to get down there. I might actually, I don't know. I might actually go and figure out what the hell that is. Maybe it is something. It has something to do with the hidden walls. I don't know. But I kind of expected to be able to just do so much more, and the you know, the gameplay kind of being a little bit different in the post game. But there just is no post game. The only quote-unquote post game there is just, you know, the game saves right before the boss battle, so you can load in again and just kind of just chill around, just kind of walk around. Just, you know, right before the final boss, you can just backtrack, but it just feels so incomplete. Especially when you know that, you know, the logical thing to do here is to just battle the big bad guy. So you really want to do that first, especially when you are where you are at the top of the summit after, you know, the hardest puzzles in the game. and you finally got to unlock the final area. Like, it just feels weird to be backtracking at that point. But of course, that's kind of the only opportunity you get, because you fucking die at the end of the game. I was kind of hoping, you know, I accepted that, okay, I'm not gonna be able to play as Ori here. But the fact that you sacrifice yourself also means that, you know, you're basically in control of the forest here, right? So you wake up your bird fella from her little nap. So I was expecting her nap being she died. By the way, I was so expecting that the post game was just gonna be from her perspective, and you just control a whole new character. Kind of like another specific game that I'm not gonna spoil here, but you know. For the like one person who gets the reference that I don't know what I'm talking to here. I have another game in mind that I'm not gonna spoil that does a lot of the same things. That just lets you play as another character after the events of the main game leaves the first character fucking dead. So. Yeah, but that didn't really happen, even though they already sort of have some mechanics in place. You know, at some point during the early game, you get to meet up with the owl fella, and they have some mechanics to, like, oh, they can flap their wings, they can, you know, they have this gliding mechanic instead of flying. Of course, it would be a little difficult explaining how, okay, now our bird guy can actually fly, I guess. But you could just have her not fly. I don't really know. I don't know why they didn't do that. That felt like such a missed opportunity. But I guess that's how things go. That's how stuff goes. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with this, but overall, the game I very much recommend it. Again, I don't know. Should I play the Blind Forest? I don't know. I've only heard like bad things about it. Like, the story is supposed to be really good, as you know, it's basically a prequel to this game, and it's a game with a pretty redeemable villain, which is, you know, very. I don't know. It's been done before, right? But it's just the gameplay wise and like combat wise. Supposedly, combat exists in the form of just turrets, an ability that I did not use in this game because it just felt so wrong. The amount I have played on my Switch, I played this on Steam because library sharing for the win. The amount I have played on the Switch, I did use the turrets ability, and it just sucked. It was not good. It was I don't know. It was just plain bad. It was not the greatest whatsoever. It's basically fucking boring. It just shoots your enemies for you, and you don't have to do anything. I don't know. That's kind of the fun part. You know, the combat, the combat plus the movement is just so seamless. But no, you get that taken away from you. That's kind of yucky. But that's how it goes. Why am I getting my ass handed to me by fucking Umu? Damn. I'm losing track here. I'm losing. I don't know what I'm losing. Yeah. Oh well. 2 hearts at the start of the collector fight. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Uh-oh. So, yeah, I don't know. Should I play the game? I don't know. I don't know if it's really worth it. I don't know how much it costs either. But I don't expect it to be worth it. Just from what I've heard. Like, sure, I can watch some, I don't know, fucking Markiplier. He's probably made some series about it. I don't know, that's a thing I've thought about, is like, instead of just playing the games, I can just watch a YouTuber playthrough of said game. And that should supposedly give, you know, depending on the game, of course, that should give a decent enough experience. I don't know. Of course, there's the aspect of just testing your own skill, which is a very fucking big part of video games in general, and just like exploring. Especially in games like these, where exploring is basically the main part of the fucking game. You know, the game starts off with just you and nothing else, really. There's some implications of like where you need to go, but you can just like walk the other way. There's a certain freedom that you don't get from just watching. I don't know, but that's, it's, you know, I don't know. Depends on the quality of the game too. Oh, yeah, I'm so dead. I never recovered from not having enough HP here. Oh, maybe I can recover now. Who would have thought? Huh. Oh, well, I did it. God damn it. Yeah, of course. Of course you had to. My reputation is irreparable. God damn it. God damn it. I am beyond cooked. God damn it. Well, that was so close too. Oh well. I'm done yapping. So, good night, fellas. See you tomorrow.